All right, everybody, I am back with a brand new update on my dog, Lucy. And first, I have to thank everybody who has contributed to the fund to help us heal our dog. It has been a crazy 5 days. But we actually got some very good news today. We actually did take her to we had the neurologist appointment this morning, and our dog was excited to get in the car. She was very energetic. We saw her more active than she has been in the last 5 days. But that left leg is still dragging, and I'm going to show you a video here of something I did yesterday. I was very curious as to if she had feeling in that leg, because when we're outside, that leg kind of sits back and she drags it. We did notice that she is actually pulling her whole entire top part of her back leg forward to kind of push that leg as far forward as she could. But the paw just drags like this as she's going, and it's starting to create a sore there. And so yesterday I was laying down with her, and I wanted to know if she had feeling in her leg. And I'm going to show you what I felt or what I saw. So here is this video. All right, everybody, this is a good sign. So this is her bad leg. It's been kind of limp. Now what's good is when I touch the hairs. Oh, see that? Oh, look at that. She can feel that. She's getting twitching in her leg. That is good. That is very good. All right, so as you guys saw, when I would tickle the hairs underneath her foot, her toes would spread out and her leg would actually flex, which is a good sign. So when we took her into the neurologist today, the first thing she did was check for any type of pain on the spine. She pinched her around the back of her legs towards the top where her spine is. She got responses everywhere. She took the thing to tap, your elbow and stuff like that. And actually that leg that is dragging, when she hit that part of her leg did jerk. So her leg is acting normal with the nerves and with those types of stimulation, with that type of stimulation. And so here is what the neurologist told us. First of all, she's made amazing progress in the last 5 days. So the neurologist said it is one of three things. The first thing is, and what she thinks it is, same as what the emergency vet thought when we brought her in, is that it was the spinal stroke. Which, if that is the case, there is a good chance, with as much as she has progressed in the last 5 days, that she will get full mobility back in that leg. Because every day it's getting a little bit better. And I'll actually show you a video I just took just a few minutes ago. And I noticed when we were coming out of the neurologist's office today and we were walking around outside in the grass area that sometimes her leg would go forward and that foot would go normal. Now, the whole time we're holding her up, keep in mind, this is with a harness. We do have a thing underneath her to hold her up, because on slick surfaces, the legs sometimes come out under her. She'll sway off to the side and fall down. And the one thing that the neurologist is worried about right now is she's putting all of that support, for the most part, on that third, the good leg on the back, her right leg. And that leg, she's worried about getting an ACL tear because of the extra weight. So we still need to support her for the next couple of weeks, but let her do 90% of the work. So she's going to recommend that we put a boot on the one leg so that when it drags, it doesn't create a sore and rub raw. And what we're doing is, downstairs we have tile and wood, and so it's slick for her to try and get up. So we're going to be buying some cheap rugs from Costco and cutting them up and putting them in the areas where she walks. All the stairs and upstairs, it's carpet, so she won't have a problem. But we need to make sure she can get around the downstairs. The doctor said she's got no restrictions at this point. She's not supposed to have any vigorous activity for the next month and a half, but that she can get back to normal, walking on her own inside, eating, going where she needs to, as she pleases. But we have to keep an eye on her so that leg doesn't buckle and she doesn't break the leg that's dragging or tear the ACL in her other leg. So anytime we bring upstairs, we're going to have to support her. Bring her downstairs, we're going to have to support her. But she does think it is the spinal stroke, which is good. She said the other real option is that it still could be a herniated disc that is pushing on the spine. But usually that affects both sides, not just one like it is. And she said, the only way we're going to know exactly what's going on is if we do an MRI. She said, do we need an MRI right now? She goes, no, we don't. She goes, your dog has made a lot of progress, a ton of progress in just 5 days. If she continues to progress like this, then you've got nothing to worry about. She goes, but if there's any regression at all, any pain, or she can't walk, or this gets worse, they are going to have an MRI done immediately. Now, we still are going to do an MRI as soon as we have enough money in the fund to be able to do so. So she said it's just not urgent at this moment because she is progressing. She's able to come off the prednisone now. The prednisone, we're going to be weaning her off for the next 4 days, well, week actually. So she'll be coming off of that entirely. And she hasn't been on her pain meds in the last 3 days. So she is doing great and doesn't have any type of pain. So this is all a good sign. Oh, I can't show you the other video because I had an issue with it syncing with my thing. But when I took her outside just a few minutes ago, that back leg is now sitting almost even with her other leg, but that paw is still somewhat back. But a couple of times she is flipping it forward to go flat on it. So things are progressing nicely. The good news is if it is the spinal stroke, once she heals from this, she's going to be back to normal. The neurologist said she may never get full mobility back in that leg. That's a very real possibility. But she said it's also a very real possibility that she will, and she will get back to normal. The good news is she can get around with the way it is. So even if she stayed the way it is now forever, she will learn to be able to use that foot. And at that point, the neurologist said we would have to get a mechanical boot, basically, to put on that foot to keep it pointed in the right direction. So when she gets up and walks, that it is still giving her the support without creating a sore. But she said that's something we'll deal with if she doesn't progressively get better. So the outlook is good. She said it could be other stuff like cancer and other stuff, but they don't think it is. She's got a very shiny coat. She's actually at 97 pounds, which is pretty hefty for a lab. She's not fat, but she's built, and she does some amazing tricks outside when we play every day. And so she's not going to be getting that vigorous activity, at least for the time being. So she is going to, we are reducing her food by 25% in the morning and in the evening so that she can start to lose some weight because she won't be getting that calorie deficit. But she's doing great. That's the good news. We are going to have the MRI done at some point as soon as there's enough funds in there so we can see if there is actually anything going on with the spine to be 100% sure, because before I ever get back to the activity of playing ball with her and doing anything vigorous with her, I need to make sure that's exactly what happened, and we can't do that without an MRI. So as soon as the money comes in for that, we're going to schedule that. But right now, the neurologist said it is not 100% mandatory at this stage. And so we are going to continue to collect those funds until the MRI can be done, but it's not an emergency at this stage, and she is progressing. So it's all good news at this stage as long as she does not have any pain. And the neurologist said she does not have any restrictions other than light duty until she has more use of that foot, and then she can get back to more vigorous activity. So the news is good. This is the best case scenario is what it appears at this stage. But again, they said there is still a possibility it's that spine, and they won't know anything. And with the MRI, they're going to be able to tell exactly where the spinal stroke occurred and how much damage has been done. But it looks like the damage was minimal, if that's what it was at this stage, because her tail is working like normal. She's going to the bathroom like normal. She is supporting herself now, and that leg is every day it's getting to the point where she can almost use it. So she gave us some physical therapy things we can do with her at home. And we're probably going to be using a pool to help rehabilitate her as well. We're going to end up getting a life vest for a dog and then doing some pool physical therapy. So Lucy is definitely on the mend and doing extremely well and acting normal. We were just outside a minute ago and she wanted to play ball, but she can't quite run with that leg the way it is. So she's raring to go, but we can't do that with her at this stage. So I do appreciate all the support. I'm going to continue to leave those links for the fund to be able to get the MRI done. But in the meantime, I will give periodic updates. And if you guys want to know, just go ahead and ask in any of the comments of any of the videos I do, and I will respond to those people asking how Lucy is and what the status is. But right now, she has improved quite a bit in 5 days, like miraculous recovery in the last 5 days. And so they do believe it was the spinal stroke, which is called FCE in dogs, which is common, especially at her age and in labs. It is a common thing that can happen. And she looks like she may make a full recovery. All right, guys, I do appreciate it. It's a huge relief for us at this stage. We're not 100% out of the woods. The MRI will give us that clear all. I do appreciate it. We will see you on the next video.